Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. We are going to get into another frequently asked questions with 1258, and that's me. My name is Dwayne. I go by Infidel 1258, and on this channel we talk about Splinterlands all day, every day, because this game has transformed my life, and I think it can change yours. Here it is. So, 8888 says, "Hey, I'd like to know what you expect from the new Death Summoners. If you have some speculations," I like that word, by the way, like expectations and speculations. I like that a lot. Do you have any speculations of what ability they will come up with, and could it be speed? I think speed's a great first little, could it be speed? Yes, it really could be. I think speed makes a lot of sense because you have to, the first thing, just off the top, this is off the top of my head here. I've done some research, but this is me just kind of just spinning on what you just said there. The speed thing. The first thought I think is, well, what are the powerful summoners right now, and how would it be, great to counter those, or to maybe put up a competitor for those? And of course, Kitty, right? Kitty and Jotun are the two kings, I would say, king and queen maybe. And I would argue that speed is the thing that beats Jotun when Jotun loses. And I would say that the only thing that beats Kitty is Kitty. So what if there was another summoner that came out with even one speed? Because you can't undercut. It's important that the new summoners not undercut those ones that came before. You have to be really clear when you're crafting new summoners that it's not just a replica, unless it's a replica of a summoner that can no longer be used. As we previously had said, let's pop over here. I'm going to open a new window. I do have some, I opened up Peak Monsters before the video started because I wanted to come to this with some prepared thoughts. And I have two windows open to show some stuff there. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, remember we've talked about before, there's summoners at the rare level. They've replaced some of them, like Lyanna Natra with a +1 heart, became Mother Kala with a +1 heart. Lyanna Natra is beta, this one's untamed. They're going to run in different circles, right? We're going to have modern, we're going to have wild. And so in wild, of course, you're going to be able to play both of them. So, there's that. But during the modern format, you're going to just be able to use Mother Kala. And so they had no problem replacing that sort of utility. So I suspect we can, I would think we can expect a plus, all of the betas to be replaced. Like a +1 armor. I guess we have Drake. Yeah, we do. We have Drake. So then a +1 melee. Do we have a +1 melee? Inferno, Malric Inferno. +1 melee. Now, do we have another +1 melee? I don't think so, right? Get rid of the golds. So not yet. So that's one thing. I think there's going to be a +1 melee. I already said that I think it'll be blue. And I said there's going to be a +1 magic. I think it's going to be red. What are the other important ones? There's no other, in my opinion, necessary ones that you kind of have to switch over, because they've already done the heart and they've already done the shield. I'd say those two are the big ones, and then the magic and the melee. They'll probably transfer over the nerf of the melee and the nerf of the magic. I don't really know which teams would offer those. I guess it'd be the other two, probably, right? But that's a pretty good guess right there. To like, you want to look at the past framing. What have they done? So I think those are some of your basics. And I think definitely a +1 speed rare summoner could make a lot of sense. Like a Pyre type summoner for the black team. But then again, Pyre is new, right? So for them to just throw a basic +1 speed, probably not in Chaos Legion. So I think it definitely makes sense that it'd be a speed, but maybe not just speed. So I'm thinking legendary summoner. I'm thinking +1 speed. I'm thinking +1 melee. And I'm a little bit torn about what the third ability would be. But let's look at some of these legendaries. So there's the legendaries. From the old beta specifically. Because remember, these betas are not going to be included with the new ones. So these might be copied. I was thinking maybe Plato Emberstorm might just be literally copy paste and put him into a black outfit for the Death Splinter. Could be. But also I could see maybe like a melee and a speed and something really amazing. Like, how about shield? Like the third ability would just be shield for all of your monsters. And then it would have to be a 7-cost legendary summoner. I think that could be possible. What else? What else could I say about that? I really think this makes a lot of sense. Why do I say that? Let's go back. Let's try and explain that. Why do I think speed and melee make sense? Well, just look at some of the team. Some of them, right now we're looking at Reward, Untamed, and Dice. We're not looking at any of the old cards because I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of the developers who are building Chaos Legion to be its own league with Reward, Untamed, and Dice. And then from the black team, these are some of the monsters that you have available to you. And you could go through and you could try to look at them and see what sort of commonalities they've done. Some of these are not actually going to apply. Like Phantom Soldier is too old, but it happens to be an old reward card, so it won't actually make it into the Modern League. So you have to be careful based on looking at the skin. You have to just know that that one's too old. And same with Fallen Spectre. So I think they've made a real shift towards magic. Well, maybe not. Maybe a real shift. Boogeyman's excluded too. No, I'm going to take that back. Vampire's not included. Skeleton's not included. I'm going to say what I'm seeing is there's only one real tank that I'm seeing. Actually, two. Undead Rex and Nightmare. And yes, Pellicore Deceiver and Phantasm. But they're... No, okay, I definitely take it back. Phantasm is not in the same ballpark as these three. So Undead Rex, Pellicore Deceiver, and Nightmare. Those are going to be the three tanks. At least unless Chaos Legion launches some sort of amazing tank. And this does not include that legendary guy. Where is he? You know, we got Dark Juan and we've... Oh, Heartclaw, that was the other one. Of course, they'll be present. They'll be very popular. They'll be very effective. But I think these three are so far the most interesting kind of common level melee tank that you're going to have access to on the black team. And so then I start thinking, what would make these guys be more amazing? And that's where I came with the 1 speed, the 1 attack, and the 1 shield. Because one of all three of these guys' biggest problem is the fact that they don't have shield, for instance. Pellicore Deceiver has Flying, Blackfire, and Retaliate. Nightmare has Blast and Phase. Undead Rex has a Trample and Stun. There's no perseverance to any of them. They all have pretty good hit pulls. Quite a number of hit points for each of them. But none of them has Void. None of them has Shield. None of them has Void Shield. Or Thorns, for that matter. So any of those things that you see with a traditional tank that really give it that longevity. Yes, Nightmare has the Phase, which is lets it dodge around magic attacks. And this one has the Retaliate, which can be like a Thorns almost. But again, you know, really Shield or Void are so important to a primary tank. In my opinion, that makes a tank. And so if you came along and you just dropped, maybe that's too overpowered though. 1 speed, 1 melee, and 1 shield, giving shield to everything. I don't mean 1 armor, I mean they all have shield, which cuts melee damage in half. That could possibly be too overpowered, but I think it might be on the table for this conversation. That's my speculation on the black team. What do you guys think in the comments below? This is something I'm really excited about. This conversation around what could they do here, and like how would you justify that, and would that then ruin blank, or confuse the meta, or would it turn it on its head? All of that is so much fun. If we were at a bar right now, just 20 or 30 of us talking, I would love this conversation for just this one conversation for half an hour or an hour. So please leave comments below letting me know what you think specifically about black team, but other teams too. I mentioned quickly the rares and what I think is going to happen there, because clearly we are going to get new rare summoners. If you don't know that already, we're going to get legendary summoners, and I think also we're going to get new epic summoners. Because remember, quickly look at this. Look at summoners regular. Okay, so beta. From the beta, we had the old 2-cost epics. I expect us to get new 2-cost epics. Okay, so that'll mean that you get a summoner that has 1 last mana cost but no benefit whatsoever. It's not no benefit whatsoever. You have to note that these summoners have different levels of monster ability. Sorry, they can allow different levels of monsters at different tiers than the other monsters can allow. And in certain circumstances, and you have to pay particularly close attention to each level, and you can see there are different unique differences that are going to benefit you at different levels of play. That's all I can really say about that. But definitely level 2, epic, these are going to be replaced, I think. So I'm expecting that's my thoughts on the rares, that's my thoughts on the epics, and that's my thoughts on the legendaries. And I don't know if we're gonna get any new common summoners. They've kind of talked about they want to, but then they're not really sure, and maybe they will and maybe they won't. Nope, that's my answer to your question. Okay guys, I gotta call it there. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I love you guys, every one of you. Check out the community tab if you want to see more about what's up. You come into here and where is it? Memberships, and there's different memberships available to you. Come check it out. Thanks guys. Bye for now.